Hey, yo, welcome to the Uncle Show. Things are about to get crazy in here with the Bandai Real Grade King of the Braves, Gaogaigar. Ever since I got back into modeling kits and I started live streaming them, there was one particular kit I had my disgusting little eyes on. And that was the S&P Gaogaigar. But then I saw this, the real grade Gaogaigar, which promises not only a bigger size, but a lot more articulation and being cheaper, unless I wanted to go for the clear version. Sorry, just threw up in my mouth a little bit. You guys seem to want it too when I put it up as a poll on my YouTube channel. It even beat out a waifu. And well, it took a while to find, was it all worth the hype? Oh. More on that later. Let's get into some backstory. Gaogaigar is part of the mecha anime super robot, whatever the term is, franchise, the Brave series. And it's the final chapter of the Brave series, and they went out with one hell of a main robot. Designed by Kunio Okawara, who designed a few robots you may have heard of, Gaogaigar is kind of one of those mech designs that honestly might just be more famous than the show itself. I don't know, haven't watched it yet. I really need to actually watch the show these toys come from. You know what? Anyhow, there are no shortage of other great Gaogaigar toys to choose from. There's the legendary original set from Takara, the beloved Soul Jikoken set later, one that's a little bit more moe, and even Takara are bringing the set back with their new T-Spark line. I mostly wanted to get Gaogaigar because it feels very pandering to me. Come on. A transforming robot with a beast mode that also combines with a stealth plane, giant drills, and a train? You're just after my heart. Tell you what else I'm after. Your subscription. If you get subscribed and get notified, you'll not only see new reviews, but you can also tune into live streams where I film footage for future videos. Any super chats will also be featured in the video as well. Also, if you like the video, please give a like and comment. Your engagement helps support this channel. Now, back to the video. Knife, come back to me, knife. I'll talk about each build for the different components separately because throughout the 6-hour build across 3 days, each one had its own different feel to building. So we'll start this off with the core robot, Gaigar himself, whose build was an absolute blessing despite a 20-minute hunt for his missing nose at the start of the stream. The build was everything you could hope for a robot model kit. Intuitive, fun, surprising in parts, everything went in smoothly, and there were plenty of bits that made me go, wait, we're doing that? Wow. And wow is the right choice of words because this figure looks fantastic when it's complete. This is just the first form and we are starting off incredibly strong. Something about this design is incredibly expressive and dynamic even when he's just standing still. I think it's all the details that are sparse but keep this all-white robot from looking visually boring. He looks remarkably clean and there may be another reason why. Notice something missing? No stickers at all. For the most part, stickers are completely optional for this set. Thank God. This is how you do it. You do get some stickers for decorations, but I ain't putting that shit on. Adding them is not even animation accurate. The fact that such tiny details like the eyes, the inside of the lion mouth, and even the vents are plastic pieces really make this guy come alive and add a lot more depth than stickers would give. So real quick, you got some alternate hands, and you just pop them out like that. They're on ball joints. Boom. There he goes. Pop them on. You get 2 sets of open hands for both hands. Pretty cool. Not my favorite. For the transformation, you're gonna need to wear these, so let's keep them on. Now then, as far as the articulation goes, you get a pretty nice little ball joint with a lot of movement actually. The shoulders can move up and there's actually, and do a T-pose, there's actually a moving armor gimmick that's not the best executed I've ever. Full rotation at the elbows, that's why it really likes to come undone. Not the biggest fan of that. Wivel at the upper arm. It's got perfect elbows, which is really nice. You got a ball joint at like the mid wrist. Well, I guess you could consider this a wrist too. Oh, and it swivels. That's more so for the line mode, but still really cool. Also get a bit of a ball joint here. And of course rotates around. And you also get not only like a really big butterfly going back for the transformation, but also you got one of those chicken wing joints
to allow for even more range of motions. Really nice touch there. And there's a lot of side to side on the upper body and up, and some really nice scalp crunches. In fact, you can extend the body for even more crunching back and forth. Oh, that is good. There is indeed a waist swivel. There is a really nice spread. There is a thigh rotation, double bend at the knee, and of course, due to the transformation, there is a little bit of an ankle pivot. Not the best, but you know what? I give credit. I give credit for having it.
Out of all the model kits I've messed with so far, this is by far the best articulated I've experienced. Whatever pose you want to do, this guy can do it. And I had so much fun on stream testing what this guy could do.
Oh my God, look, one-legged. He actually can do it.
If I did have any kind of complaint, really, it's the dividing armor for the shoulders sometimes comes a little bit loose, but it's an easy fix. He's a big size for a core figure. Oh, but wait, it doesn't stop with just him. Let's transform.
So the transformation is pretty simple. Take off, you turn the fists around and the fists around and turn these around. Unplug the sides and then you turn the line head. And then we turn the line head around, fold it back over. All right, looking really good. And then we want to also, I believe we want to twist the body around. Yeah, we do, because, oh, and then the legs. Again, if you've used any kind, if you mess with any kind of cat transformer, yes, you gotta flick that up. There is another bit actually. We want to get a skirt out. There we go. Like so. Actually, there's one more little bit for the tail we need to get up. There we go.
Transformation was easy to figure out. Have you messed with any cat-themed Transformers, you know what you're in for. And Align mode isn't the best, but it is effective. It's charming in a very Power Rangers Zord kind of way. Besides, this line has moves. While it may not be the most fleshed out line mode ever, it's definitely the most articulated I've messed with. You can get some really dynamic poses out of this mode. So, Robot mode was great, Align mode was great, Build was great. If this figure was sold on its own for the price of this, okay, more likely a high-grade price, he'd be completely worth it. But we're not done. Time to bring in the Gao machines. First up with Liner Gao. The build for Liner Gao was very simple and very easy, except for two little bits. Be very cautious when handling the train lights because the piece for that broke in half for me. But luckily, the way they're laid out, you don't have to have them connected to each other to plug them in, so yay. Also, this is the first time we get stickers that I have to put on, but I don't mind these. For one, they're recessed enough into the plastic, meaning they won't interact with your disgusting hands as much. And they're plastic, meaning they're a lot more durable for play, thank God. As for the train itself, it's a simple little bullet train. It's cute, not much in the way of articulation, but it's a train. And how it works in the actual transformation? Now that's a little bit mind-blowing, and we'll come back to that. Also, a nice little touch here with all the Gao machines is that their cockpits are transparent with molded interiors. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's a really nice touch to give these things some life inside. Makes me imagine tiny people inside of there. Next up is Drill Gao. The build sequence was intuitive, fun, and surprising in a lot of parts. I thought building each tread on these drill tanks was gonna suck, but it was actually pretty easy and even a little bit clever. And also they're made of ABS plastic for some reason. As for the tank itself, yeah, they're obviously robot feet, but unlike SMP My Gain, at least the feet can fold and they don't destroy themselves. And I think the tank is still charming. Maybe I'm just a sucker for giant drills on a design. Shame these can't spin, bit of a missed opportunity, but still, the engineering work here is fantastic, and you can even attach these onto Gaogaigar's arms, which completely wears down the arms, but still looks cool. Onto the final Gao machine, Stealth Gao, whose build I didn't like in the slightest. First of all, black playing on a black table is a terrible idea. But there are a bunch of other weird factors about this model kit. Like, this is the first model kit I've ever had that used bendy wire. And that was one of the better bits. Those little articulated exhaust flaps.
Oh wait, we can put...
They can go die. The little red bits you have to attach to the line face, I actually wish they were stickers. But even they don't compare to the horrors of these hands. So if you've ever had a model kit or some of Bandai's other transforming figures, there's a concept called transformation hands, where basically they give you basic fists that allow for a smooth transformation and then give you bigger hands for afterwards, sometimes with more articulation. Here, the articulated hands are used in the transformation, which sounds great, right? No. These stupid hands are way too articulated. I know that sounds weird. Why would more articulation be bad? It means that the connections are painfully weak in the hands. They would just keep falling apart. All for what? A bendy hand motion? Why would I need them? Unless he was feeling fabulous. But that's nothing compared to the fingers. Each individual finger is articulated, which sounds great, but in reality, these things are on tiny, hinged ball joints that really like to pop out if you aren't as absolutely careful as possible. There is nothing securing these awful hands into place. It's not like the hands are constructed in such a way that encases them in. No, they just pop right out. And these things are tiny. I get wanting to give us some much more articulated hands. I like that idea. But just give us some hands for the transformation and then some bigger hands for afterwards that are easier to mess with. You did it for the Gaogaigar. And it's a shame, because the self-plane itself looks awesome. Sleek, menacing, and remarkably big. I don't even mind kibble bits sticking out either. It's just a shame that all my problems with this set are in this thing. Despite my frustrations, which I'm not done yet, you'll see later, I do still love these vehicles and this robot. They're animation accurate, super charming, and were a blast to build for the most part. And of course, they combine. Final Fusion approved!
Okay, so let's get this party started. And thankfully, it's a very nice, very easy transform. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna get this guy ready. So what we're gonna do is move the arms up and rotate the body. And then we're going to flip out the skirt. Then we're going to fold down the feet, nice and easy. Take this, shuffle things about a little bit and get this opened up. Move that out because these are gonna become the leg. This can be a little bit of a pain to get in just right, but when you do, you click it in, and then you just fold this back up, and there you go. That acts as a little bit of a back. Okay, rotate it. We're gonna bring down these tabs all the way and rotate the arms out here. I'm gonna take a liner gow here, shove them in, and start breaking apart the arm. All right, getting this part out can be a little bit of a pain, but it can be done. Come on. Come on, there we go. I think we can use that, and that sort of locks the train in place. Now then, on to the next bit. On to the next bit, which is also my least favorite bit, and that is, so what you want to do is remove these bits, flick these in, and take off the little panels here. Well, actually, hold on. I almost forgot. You got these little holders here that you got to unplug first, and then you could, in theory, you could just push these out. But of course, the stupid fingers. Is a finger missing? No, they're right here. I really hate this finger system. Then what you want to do is connect that in and just be ridiculously careful. There we go. Final bit, we got to get Stealth Gal here ready. So what we're gonna do, rotate these. Until then, we're just gonna first we're gonna rotate this inward, rotate this inward, and then we wanna bring this up and fold these in. And then we're going to take out this helmet that I hate, and you'll see why later. So reconnect the stupid crest that fell off. And we're going to try our best to rotate this around as best as we can. Try to get it as straight up as possible. Otherwise, the connection is gonna be attach this, and it should, I'm not sure how it connects in, but somehow it does. Although I think, yeah, you also have to fit the mask on, but more importantly, fit it on right way, keep it locked down, and then you gotta somehow, oh my god.
The transformation is almost really good, but again, Stealth Gao is the problem. From the awkward mask connection, trying to get the back connected, the awkward swing around line main, and of course, the fingers from hell. It's a much more frustrating experience than it should be. I've done it a number of times by now, and I've gotten kind of used to it, though sometimes I just make it a little easier on myself and just disconnect the hands and the mask and the helmet to kind of make it a little easier on myself. Yes, it's parts forming. I don't care. Honestly, every time I get to these bits and I have to deal with them, I feel my soul die a little every time. But when I see the final robot, my soul gets back to life because this robot is gorgeous. As I stated, the final form of Gaogaigar is just a phenomenal design, a testament to the 90s super robot era of mech design. How can these four components integrate so well together, and even more so, how is it possible that this model kit replicates the animation model near perfectly? I've had to deal with the occasional pinhead or overly long legs from a low-angle reference, but with this guy, no. None of that. Everything from the expressive head sculpt, all the sharp angles, all look spot on. It really looks like the animation model come off the screen. I guess if you want me to nitpick, the plane's wingspan might be a little smaller, but it's so minor. Even his hands are the right size. I still wish we got different ones, but hey, I'm still really impressed. Even with all the busy armor bits from Stealth Gao, he looks incredibly dynamic from all angles.
So one of the accessories is the Protect Surge. It's this giant shield that you just wrap around the fingers. One accessory that I like far more are these, the Heaven and Hell fists. And for these, you attach this, then use the ball joints, bring it around, and try to get them connected. Maneuver some parts around it, but at least it does look kind of cool. Something far cooler and far more up my alley is this, the dividing driver. There we go. It's on kind of a spring system, but it's not the best system. So yeah, it has a tendency to separate a little. Plug it in, which is not, okay. Yeah, that's that. The tip is actual metal, which is really crazy to me just because I don't know why you would, but
I do still wish we got some different hands for obvious reasons, but these accessories are still pretty fun, especially the dividing driver. But I would be worried about leaving his arm like this for a long time. Remember, there's a chunk of metal inside. And these are friction joints. Really nice friction joints, but friction joints nonetheless. While we are on that note,
right, so let's just quickly go over articulation. We got a ball jointed head. Be very careful because that likes to happen with the mask. So again, this is a good set. Get that mask. For the arms, you do have to be careful because you do have these panels here, but you can rotate the arms, tilt them upward a bit for a little bit of a T-posing action. So that's all well and good. There's kind of a slide butterfly, I think. No, I think that's more so. There is double bend at the elbow, rotation at the upper arm. There is a ball joint on the wrist, and there's a little bend at the wrist. The fingers are articulated. I'm not gonna go too much in depth on it because I don't want them to fall off. Anyhow, so you still have that really nice side-to-side action. and as well as the ab crunch. Well, also the skirt can move about, which is good, too much though. The legs are mostly the same, you know, you got the same splits, you got the same backwards and forward momentum. You can, with this bit in to kind of lock the leg in, you can bend it at that far back, but if you move it forward a little bit, you get a little bit more articulation. And then finally the feet are, well, I'll just use the other foot for now. There is an ankle pivot and a toe bend. No articulation, no other kind of articulation in the feet, and it just fell out. So yeah, these feet are not made for rotation. Just remember that.
The posability on this guy for a combiner and a transforming figure and a model kit cannot be understated. Just like Gaogaigar, you can get this guy into whatever pose you need him to, and he looks natural doing it. And while they are a pain to work with, I can't act like you can't have some fun with the finger articulation. Though, I will say though, you should take a lot of care when handling this guy. He is still a model kit. I've seen some people describe this guy as display only, and while I wouldn't go that far, be gentle with him. Speaking of display, one critique I do have is there's no port for a Tamashii Nation stand style port. You only have a port for some exclusive connector used for Bandai's Master Grade kits. And I don't have one of those. I got plenty of stands, just not the one this guy needs. Whatever, I barely use stands anyways. So that was the real grade Gaogaigar. Was he worth it? Honestly, despite some of the problems with Stealth Gao, I'm gonna say yes. If you're someone who doesn't have monster hands and a lot more patience, you'll find a super well articulated, mostly fun to build kit that looks absolutely gorgeous. And if you're someone like me with hands made for destruction, give you trouble, just put them to the side for some parts forming. I won't tell anyone. Now then, as for the price, this guy is on the expensive end of real grade kits, coming in at around $70. Not the cheapest price all things considered, but for the sheer amount of articulation, the fun build, the fact that it transforms and it comes with all this stuff, yeah, I'd say it's worth it. I've seen you get less stuff for a master grade kit. This was a mostly fun kit to mess with, and I'll probably do some more higher end kits later on. If only we had a model kit now of the Genesect form, because that design is even crazier, even bigger.
Hey, what about the Amakuni Genesect Gaogaigar?
Well, you see, Xiaomi, I mean one that transforms and combines.
Oh, fair enough. Now rub my belly!
But what about you? How do you feel about this kit? Do you think it's worth it? Do the flaws keep you from liking it? Let me know in the comments, and please subscribe.